the other way, and yay.
Well, last week, Kyalami Grand Prix Circus announced that the iconic track has taken proactive steps by engaging the services of Apex Circuit Design to prepare a roadmap for FIA Grade 1 accreditation. It's the first concrete steps in potentially getting a Formula One race back in South Africa. Motorsport South Africa's CEO Vic Maharaj joins us now to discuss this further. A very good afternoon and welcome to Newsroom Africa. There's so many stakeholders involved when it comes to potentially hosting a massive event like a Formula One Grand Prix. Can you explain to us Motorsport South Africa's involvement in the ongoing discussions?
Sure, Vaylen. Thank you so much for having me. So, effectively, Motorsport South Africa is the recognized federation for motorsport in the country. We are affiliated to Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and SASCOC. But in addition, we are the FIA's representative in South Africa, and probably, as everyone possibly knows, the FIA kind of regulates all four-wheel type of motorsport, so car-type racing in world motorsport, and then obviously locally through us. So as the federation, when we do get a request like this, we will escalate it to the FIA. The FIA is the organization will send out personnel to do a track inspection and then decide whether there are certain interventions that's required to mitigate any safety risk, any possible liability issues, because as you can imagine, Formula One is on the tip of everyone's tongue. We had a brilliant race yesterday in Brazil, which was outstanding. And so there's a lot of countries that won Formula One races, and the FIA has got to have enough due diligence to make sure that the track complies with safety, because these Formula One cars of the current age are extremely fast. They have huge energy. So if there's an accident, we've got to make sure that the drivers are safe, the marshals and officials are safe, and that the crowd is safe.
Vic, when was MSA first approached to potentially get South Africa back onto the Formula One Grand Prix calendar?
So we've had some preliminary discussions with Minister of Sport. We're very excited that we've got a, can we call it a card nut in terms of, or a motorsport fan in terms of actually a Minister of Sport who's fully invested to try and get international events to South Africa. So we've had preliminary discussions with him and his staff, and effectively when we are officially mandated by him, we are ready to offer our assistance and to effectively push the buttons to get the official infrastructure plays organized to get to obviously FIA out here. Obviously, there were two instances in the past sort of 2 to 3 years where we almost got to essentially getting the Formula One Grand Prix at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. There were certain issues that didn't quite work out. And in those stages, we did engage with the FIA. We did have Formula One staff that came out and had a look at Kyalami and gave some input as to what's required. The Kyalami management has all that information, and they need to kind of, when they're ready, they need to kind of engage with us so we can get the inspections done.
What is the kind of appetite from the FIA to have a race in South Africa? We know that Lewis Hamilton is keen.
Yeah, Lewis is keen. I think Formula One is keen, which is obviously owned by an American company, Liberty Media. The FIA is keen. You know, we always use the ideology that you can't really call it a world championship unless you have the race in Africa. It's the only continent that doesn't have a race. Obviously, there are rumors and conjecture at play that Rwanda might also be in the running for it. We believe as South Africans, we can put together an absolutely world-class event. Just to give you an idea, we've got a round of the World Rally Raid Championship that's coming to South Africa. It's an official round of the FIA World Championship in around May next year. And I think that's going to be the proof of concept to kind of show that as South African motorsport organizers, we can put on an absolute world-class show. And I think the public at large need to understand that to get a Formula One Grand Prix, it's not going to be next year. It's not going to be the year after. I think the earliest you're looking at it is probably in around 2027.
2027, and I'm sure it won't just be for a single year that they'd want to engage in a contract, especially not after the getting the track up to speed with the FIA standards. Thank you very much, Vic. That's unfortunately all we've got time for. Vic Maharaj is the Motorsport South Africa CEO, and that's how we come to the end of your Sport Vuyo in this hour.